I will not be managed. That is not going to happen. I cannot understand how these people are in business. It's Monday morning. I'm not in the yard, but the train is. Let's get it offloaded. The last 2 weeks I've been here, there and everywhere. Norway, Germany, I've been in Manchester. I haven't been able to plant my feet firmly on the floor and get on with my work and get in the routine as I normally do. My training's out the window, but thankfully I'm back. It's Monday morning and I'm on the road again. I am waiting on some feedback from the project you saw us price a couple of weeks back, the one that needs the box frame to build the 4x7 rear extension. We put our price in on Friday and I believe 2 other contractors priced it, and we're waiting to see the feedback from the client. Tomorrow, I am going to start dismantling the scaffold gym. Now, if you remember, I showed you the plan, what I have for the tire area, and looking at the weather here, I think it's right about time. We need to dismantle it. All the equipment internally has been moved into a storage container. So we're going to begin to take that gym area down and put together the tire area, but then think about what we're going to do with the space where the gym is. You saw me a couple of weeks back talk about the car that I wanted to get on the list for. This is my personal car, not the new Defender, what I ordered, but my dream car, and I'm heading into London to sit down and specify that car now. The Daniel Ashville personal YouTube channel is coming, and it's going to be the insights into my life that we don't think are a good fit on the This Is Ashville channel here. Things outside of entrepreneurship and construction and engineering, some of my other passions, things I do in the gym, things I do on nutrition, some of the traveling I do, the places I stay. It will be a lot of information about my personal life and day-to-day things which do not necessarily revolve around business, but they're part of my life which help me to prepare and condition me to do the work that I do. So some of you are interested in that stuff, some of it not. So on this channel, I don't want to be trying to ram it down your throats and people say, I don't watch it for this reason. Put your top back on. I don't care about the gym. Nobody cares about your health. Shut up and get in the yard and do your work. Ah, my townie's calling me. How's you looking now?
So we haven't specified that many.
Oh, really?
In fact, in the UK, as far as I know, there's only 3 cars being delivered so far.
Only 3?
Yeah.
With the extras that we've spec'd, how much is that car now? It's Tuesday morning. I'm on the road again. I haven't been in the yard for so long, like intensely, that it's really like beginning to affect me now. I need to work out what's going on. Is the yard and the operations really suffering, or am I just suffering because I don't know what's going on? Today, after this meeting, I should get back to the yard, but then I have to collect my townie and go out straight away to look at something. And by the time I come back, I've got a meeting at 4 o'clock and I still won't be able to spend any time in the yard. This morning, we're gonna start to dismantle the scaffold. So we're gonna take the sheets off firstly. Is disconnecting the electrics as we speak, so everything in there will be isolated and it will be safe. Get the sheets off, put them on some pallets, move them out the way, and then throughout the week we'll begin to dismantle all the pipe, take it apart and take out the rubber flooring, and obviously put them in storage because I'm not going to lose my rubber flooring and all my other bits. Show what's going on with the scaffold and show the time lapse and all that. This week, the clock is ticking and we're going to begin to import the decorative aggregates very soon. So we are going to begin to dismantle the storage material bay at the very far left, and we're going to begin to dissect it and make it into 3 smaller bays. I thought I was lucky to find parking for my meeting in Waterloo until I went on the app and I booked it, and I have parked for 3 hours, £37. What the, how is that even possible? That can cost £37 to park here. And if I include congestion as well, so this has basically cost me £50 to park here, plus the cost of diesel. So you might say,
why didn't he get the training?
if I got the training and didn't have reception, and then I had to go in a different direction, or the plan changed, then it would cost me even more. I have to be able to adapt and be rapid, to move, hop from one foot to the other, ducking, diving, slipping, sliding. But £37, nah, that's just...
Where is it then?
What's happening, Tony?
You're on with me and my Tony.
Oh, yeah?
What time do you get out of bed in the morning, you lot?
No,
The country's
hold
like
on.
the way it's gone.
Rephrase that question now.
Oh, sorry. What time does Daniel get out of bed in the morning?
I had a meeting in Waterloo at 8 a.m, which could not be moved.
Of course it couldn't. I could have gone to that meeting.
Right,
And I'm a
okay.
professional at my job, and it would have sounded more professional me going to the meeting than yourself.
By just saying the word...
But.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I was okay, and then I made this call.
I've got the up with Foxy as well. He ain't sent me machines down yet.
Oh, okay. In case you're not in the know. Basically, Fox has done a deal behind my back, apparently, with O'Donovan, and now he's running machines.
Cayley Plant, get it right. Cayley Plant. Kayleigh.
Right, okay.
Plant.
I'll get on to Paul to make sure that he sends down your machines, but I was under the impression that a multi-millionaire conglomerate machine truck operator of 60 years, second, third generation, I was under the impression that you would just buy your own machines outright with no finance.
We need to help our friends up north.
It's like the Hovis advert.
The fella going down the hill on the bike, we have to help him.
The fellas don't need help going downhill, Michael. They'll do that all on their own.
You still got your welding them old bins, Paul.
What old bins? Why'd you have to chat rubbish, man?
He was working for a Cayley Plant. He'd have a heated floor workshop, state-of-the-art equipment round him, coffee machine, sandwich toaster,
Really?
lovely toy, conveyor belt.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right, mate.
Catch you later.
Alright, talk to you in a bit.
Just going to go and have a look at something quickly, what Michael O'Donovan has organised for us. Don't know if I'm going to buy it, don't know if I'm not, and I can't tell you what it is yet. It's a surprise. Back in the yard at the end of the day, just had a meeting, put a plan in place. And a little while ago I had a diabolical harebrained scheme. Well, now the scheme has grown legs. This was part one of my plan, if you remember. The gym is coming down nicely, and I was gonna dig out this area and put the 6 meter scaffold poles in. But a whetstone scaffolder here, Matt, if you remember a long time ago, the Love Island contestant, and he said my plan isn't gonna work because the structure isn't gonna be strong enough. So we've had to adapt. And I don't wanna dig the ground out here, and I want to be able to move the scaffold if I have to. So there's a new plan. Our concrete barrier molds over here, we're gonna take 5-foot scaffold poles and we're gonna put them in the side of the concrete blocks, in the side. We're gonna let them dry, and then we're gonna turn them over. So basically they're pointing outwards. Once they're pointed outwards, we're going to use this as an upright to attach 2 straight up scaffold poles to it, so we can build a leg on that side, and on this side we're going to put 6 meter scaffold poles into the jersey barriers as we pour the concrete, which are going to stand out from it, and that is going to form the basis for the leg on the other side. That's the plan anyway. The Ashville Gym is no more. A good first day's work, but it's going to slow down significantly now because there's loads of bits and pieces that have got to be taken apart. The time is 5:41. I'm heading back up to my office, and that's it for Tuesday. It's Wednesday morning. I'm not in the yard. I'm at the refurbishment project. And as you can see, the first floor level is down. Chris and I were working out what to do in the bathroom because it's a very tight space. And while it looks like there's room now, we have to do work on the ceiling, which is going to make it even lower. And there's bits to do on the floor. So we had to organize it so all the space is usable. You'll come up the stairs here. This area and that area is going to be raised by another 70 mil, as this area is going to be completely soundproof. We're going to have a glass balustrade here. This is just here to protect everyone who's working in case somebody slips so they don't fall in the void where the stairs is going to be. And then the bathroom is going to be on a lower level. We need the head height and it doesn't need to be soundproof. As I step into this area, This is going to be a double door. One door opening here, one door opening here. And this is a special acoustic system, what we are importing from France. If you have a look here, this will give you the makeup of the area. So we have 2 stud partitions. We then have 15mm soundboard, we have an acoustic mat, and then we have another 15mm soundboard. On this side, 15mm soundboard, an acoustic mat, and then 15mm soundboard. And in the middle here, we have insulation. If you follow the walls all around the side, this will be repeated. This is why you can see an internal and an external skin. We've done this in the entire area. Now the double door you see here, that will be replicated in this area also. So this is going to be storage. Double door opening to here, double door opening into here. Now we've strengthened the floor, so it's all going to be usable space. And we've strengthened the floor in this area here, because this is where we're going to store the air conditioning units, which are going to be for the master bedroom and the master dressing, because we are directly above. Now this is fantastic usable space, and if you look here, you can also see the double skin walls everywhere. So the entrance is here, Chris. So we have a sink and a toilet to go here, or sink, toilet and shower.
Sink and toilet only. What I think to be usable
Yeah.
nicely, the sink on this wall somewhere, I
Yeah.
don't know, because then you have a mirror and
Then we
stuff
have a
like
mirror,
that.
yeah.
And the lights can go on
I
this
got it.
flat
Yeah,
ceiling, yeah.
yes.
And the best option for me, like a plumber,
Yeah.
is a toilet on this wall.
Okay,
And
but isn't that toilet going to come too far out to here? That's the problem.
Yeah, but we need to like miss the sink and
Yeah.
toilet. Because
And if you put the toilet here, you're making it too tight to get in with storage and boxes to
That's
get
what
in
I
there.
think.
Right, okay. And you don't want to open the door and look at the toilet straight
Yeah.
away. So, well, the sink has to go here. And the sink should be central, otherwise it's not going to look good. And if the toilet's here,
not really, yeah.
you can't really use it. He's the same height as me, so that's not going to work. At least if you're here, you have the window, but then you've got the sink on your back.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What's this here? Storage again, yeah? I think we need to put it here, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, put sink here, toilet there, and then the rest of the bathroom is usable.
Yeah.
They can ask for some shelves here or whatever they want. Yeah? Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm in the bathroom of bedroom 2. Now you can see our screed level here. You remember a couple of weeks back when we screeded the first floor. Underneath you can see our insulation, and you can see one of the underfloor heating pipes. Now we've cut the insulation out. We have a bespoke linear grill here, which is basically a waste. But that bespoke linear grill is made up of 3 separate wastes. 1, 2, 3. Now each of these have a 40mm connection. Now we've taken 50mm waste pipe and then we've put a converter on it to connect to the 40mm. So straight away, when the 40mm pipe comes off there with the water, it goes into a 50mm, so it has a larger pipe to travel through. We put some expanding foam underneath. We're just waiting for this to dry. Once it does, we're going to put screed in this area. Now on this screed, we're going to put a slope towards the linear grill. And then on top of that, we are going to have a jackboard. So the jackboard will fit in here. And as the screed has already created the slope, the water will run in this direction. Then on top of this, we're going to have adhesive and a tile. Now the important thing here is that we are not trying to build the tiles up with adhesive in order to get the slope for the water to go in this direction. We are going to do it with the screed. So when the jackboard goes on and then the tiles go on, the process should be a lot more simple. These are the supply pipes, hot and cold, for the shower mixer. This is the stud partition which has been used, which the ply, jackboard and tiles will sit on top of. If you look down there, you can see it already. And if you look on this side, you can see the construction of the frame for the toilet, which will be wall hung. Now you'll see 2 pieces of timber here, and in between them, we're going to do a niche with glass shelves, which will be lit. On the ground floor, the electrics are in full swing. A couple of weeks back, you saw us putting in all the cable trays. Now on these cable trays, you can see the data running. The blue is a Cat6A, which is taking signal to the televisions, and the orange and the red are Cat6 cables, which are taking data. The black is a coax cable, which we don't really need. People call it CT100, but we're running it to all the TV locations anyway. The entire lighting system in this house is going to be Control 4, which means you can control it from a touchscreen pad from your phone. You could do it in here or you can do it remotely. Click here to see a video where I explain home automation and a Control 4 system Great video. Super techie though. You have to pay attention when you watch that. We're talking about lighting positions here. These stud walls have been built up. This room over here is a snug, and this is some separation for the kitchen and dining area. Here, we have some bifolding doors, internal bifolds, which mean you can close these and have complete fire separation for the kitchen, and it gives everyone from a fire point of view a chance to get out of the house, as you have stairs here and you have stairs over there. However, when you're entertaining, you have guests round, you can completely open this, and you could, as the client asked me,
I want to drive around in here in circles on a Segway.
Now we have the doors in place. We are working on the different points to have the touchscreen panels. There'll be one at the door, and the sockets. You can see here, and at various locations over there, we have cables coming down from the ceiling where we're gonna have sockets. And at different locations, we are gonna have lighting for artwork. So if you ever look in a museum and you see this small feature coming off the wall and it lights a piece of art, that is gonna be at multiple locations on this floor also. The pink cable you can see everywhere is speaker cable. So in main living areas, we have gone for stereo sound, but in this room, we have right, center and left. And then at the back of the room, you can see we have our rear left and right also. Now we were gonna do stereo in the room over the other side, but we've decided just for the sake of it, we're running the cables, everything's open. We've run 5.1 in there as well. And the cinema downstairs is gonna be 11.2. I have just been corrected by the basement cinema is in fact 11.4.2. Are you mad? Do you know what Black Hawk Down is gonna sound like when the chopper's in here? It's gonna be mad. You can see some of the speakers are already run. All of the speakers in this area and cables which come from other parts of the house, they have run to this area over here because that is where we're gonna have the media rack and we're gonna house all the equipment. In the past, we salvaged a basement. Click here to watch that video. And once it was salvaged, we put a home cinema down there. Click here to watch that video, them shameless plugs. That's free in under 2 minutes. Now I'm heading back to the yard and I hear the lads should be now pouring the first blocks with the scaffold poles inside them. Time is 10 to 4, taking a walk in the yard. 926, it's broke down again. So Liebherr are here. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with it. Probably an AdBlue issue and regeneration. Annoying, it keeps happening. We've made a final plan, and this is the final plan. And this ain't the final plan before the final plan, this is the last plan, the very last plan. Moving around in a full list of the materials we're gonna have. We're gonna have type 3, and we're gonna have type 1, sand, we're gonna have a 20 mil shingle, 10 mil shingle, 2 to 6 mil, a 4 to 20 mil limestone, we're gonna have 20 mil plum slate, 40 mil plum slate, 20 mil blue slate, 40 mil blue slate, 20 mil grey slate, and 40 mil grey slate. Yes, but that requires a lot of material to be moved around. Now we have a train coming in on Friday, and that train is only of 10 and 20 mil shingle. So we're gonna start moving material around now so we're prepared for the train. It's a bit of double handling because you never wanna be just moving material around in the yard with a shovel burning diesel. But if we can move the bit of material we've got when the train comes on Monday, then we can put it straight into the bay. Up the top, bay number 1, that is now gonna be type 3. The material we're using the most at the moment is the type 1. That's gonna be in the middle bay. We're gonna take out this 20 mil and this 20 mil shingle is gonna be moved to this bay. And everything in this bay is gonna go right next to it. But we can't do it at the moment because the machine is broken down and in the way. So all this sand is gonna be moved to the first bay. And then starting here, we're gonna begin to divide these bays. Now we're not gonna have much of the 2 to 6 and the 4 to 20 limestone and the decorative. They're gonna be smaller bays, not as big as these ones, but we're gonna make sure that we've got the space for them, and we're probably gonna concrete at the bottom of the bay because the decorative aggregate, we don't want it to get dirty. You can not get away with it, but if someone's having type 1, what's going into a hole in the ground, it is important, but it's generally not as important that it needs to be completely spotless. There is, what's the word? There is some tolerance. So Flo is getting moving that material right away. In between doing that, we have 17 lorries all going to the same job in the morning with type 3. Type 3 is basically type 1 with no fines in it. We're going to be delivering all of that material. Everyone's going to go there and we're going to hit 340 tons. And then we're going to go and collect the rest of the material from elsewhere. Here's a type 1 here. We're hitting it hard. It's not lasting very long. So plenty going on, always moving around. At the moment, the yard is getting no bigger, so we have to utilize the space we've got. That's the benefit of having all the concrete blocks, is that you can dismantle and rebuild, and when you have containers, you can shift them around and keep trying to make better use of the space you have. This will take, by tomorrow you can break the mold. It was warm. I am so angry. Like I'm furious, man. You know when you're so vexed, but you have to maintain your composure because you're at work and it's the right thing to do, but you want to fly off the handle because of people's neglect and incompetence. And no matter what everybody does around you, it costs you money. Doesn't matter what happens, it costs you money. This platform isn't for naming and shaming, so I'm not going to mention it. My servers, they've been the same since I spoke to this company. We had a whole parade of talking to different companies, and I chose one and they sold me a dream. Of course, the reality ain't as nice as the dream. Of course, they did not deliver in the time they said. Of course, they're difficult to get hold of. Of course, it's like pulling teeth, but I'm used to it. I accept it. But today, after months and months, when I'm being told that part of the system doesn't work because of my server, what has been in place long before them, which they had access to and full transparency, now they're saying it don't work and I must spend money. Why am I spending money? I am paying for a system which is not working properly, and now because you didn't do your homework, I must pay more money. Well, that is not going to happen. And if I have to pay one more penny, then you should come and get your entire system and give me a full refund. I cannot understand how these people are in business and they're such big companies when they treat people like this. And no matter what we do,
It's difficult, it's remote, I'll get back to you, and you'll leave.
you know them tricks. Don't reply till Friday and reply after 3 o'clock. I know all the tricks. They try to throw someone to the lions and get them to manage me. I will not be managed. I know what I paid for. I need what I paid for. I don't want someone to call me and say my name 5 times in a sentence. And if it doesn't work, then it's not fit for purpose and I require a full refund. Not next week, not when we have a meeting. Let's not have a sit down. What does it look like when I get angry, sat in a room full of people? What do I look like? What will they say about me? I'm paying for it and they don't deliver and they do everything wrong. But when I get angry, what do I look like? So how do I win? So I just have to shut up and take it and don't send an email and don't get involved and get robbed and then pay for solicitors' fees and all of this. It is brutal. I really dislike it. Did you know the only thing that I think, well, Manny sent me a video here. He's busy, sent a grab down doing work for him, taking out muck and supplying material. And while everyone else is constant and some of the suppliers we deal with are constant and not delivering, at least Michael O'Donovan is consistent.
Here we are, Dan got the fleet ready for the morning. Big muck job on in the morning, got them all out ready to go. Drivers all waiting, can't wait to come in. Go out in proper trucks. All ULIS compliant, these vehicles, of course, obviously. What a fleet of motors, hey? One day, Dan, you'll have a fleet like this, mate. Just have a look.
Thursday, I'm in the yard. We have a cement delivery. Just trying to work out logistics here. We had a complaint from a client. If you have a look here at the pictures, and rightly so, we delivered some sand and it had rocks in it and it had dirt. Now I can see how that's happened. Basically, someone's driven the shovel, it's a wet floor, and they've scraped the floor. You see now, we're having a tidy up because this here, that isn't right. That is a bit of type 1 that was left over on the floor or fell out of the shovel bucket. We're trying to put a plan in place to tidy up the yard a bit, but the rain doesn't help. Like for instance, in this bay here, Flo's gonna get the grab and we're gonna clean these corners because we're gonna move the sand in here. But in order to do that, we need to scrape the ground. Look, there's loads of shingle everywhere on the ground, and this is no good whatsoever for the sand. Trouble is, the 926 is broken down again. Cleaning operation in place. These are just operational issues which happen, which we have to address because nobody wants to get material which is dirty. On another note, Building Impossible with Daniel Ashville, I normally say it's out tonight at 8, but it's out in America tonight at 8, Eastern and Pacific. You know, I know about them American times there. They're playing all the episodes back to back from 6 p.m. in America on National Geographic, one after the other on today, Thursday the 19th of October. So I'm interested to see what sort of feedback we get from the United States of America. And nobody in St. Lucia has been able to watch it yet because they have American television in St. Lucia. So hopefully the people in St. Lucia now, like my family, are trying to watch the show and they haven't been able to watch it because it's not available on streaming platforms as of yet. But hopefully once it comes out tonight, they will be able to. We broke out the first scaffold concrete block molds. What do we think? I think they're decent. I quite like that. I think we may need to address how we do this next time, but for me it's looking good. There we go. Well, it's basically giving it a 2-ton base. I quite like it. If you interlock these side by side, if every one of those is 2 ton, by the time they're locked together, that should be enough to stop the scaffolding taking off as a sail in the wind. Nice. Let's put a couple more together and get pouring. Another set of concrete block with scaffold poles poured. Sam was on a concrete job today. We managed to get some footage from it, pouring foundations, and the time now is 7:11. Yeah, the time actually really is 7:11. The system I told you about at the end of the day yesterday, it hasn't been rectified as of yet, but apparently they are working to get it sorted, and I haven't heard anything on it apart from an email to say they're working on it, so I guess we'll see. And that is it for Thursday. It's Friday morning. I'm in the yard and the train is in. Let's get it offloaded. Cheese and crackers with biscuits with sprinkles on them. You've got different hot sauces. You've got macaroni, cheese, potatoes, and you brought pick and mix. And you're drinking tea through Terry's mug as well. Got nothing left. Right. All I'm saying is, if you put on weight here, you can't blame me.
Well, the gym's been taken down now, so...
Hey, listen, if this is going to make you edit better, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Now, look at that. Now, that's a deep dish, you know? So, let it never be said that I was responsible for people putting weight on at Ashville. Terry tried to blame me. Friday tried to blame me. No doubt Hamza will try to blame me soon. People try to blame me when they come here and they put on weight. Hey, look. Oh, now he didn't even offer anyone a cookie as well.
Oh my God.
Long time ago, I was standing here in an Ashville Weekly, a very early episode. Click here to watch that. Before anything happened here, before there was any scaffold. And this is deja vu. I'm back here. I want to start to take down all these concrete blocks and remove all these jersey barriers, but I cannot do it because there's no space. So what we are going to do is remove these stairs. So we're going to use the machine, pick up these stairs and take them out of the way. Then we can drive the forklift in. So this area is completely finished. Meant to be going to look at a job, but it more feels like a joyride with Terry's kind of stop-start madness, jerkery driving with a car that's running out of AdBlue. Have we even got diesel?
4,500 miles left on it.
It's running out, man. Off to go and look at a job, what should be starting next week, and I thought I'd jump in with Terry to see how he was terrorizing this poor Amarok, to see how it was surviving the onslaught of heavy footism that is Terry Duff's driving.
And if I was driving any slower, I'd be getting, what's wrong with you, man? What's the delay?
I made a decision. This new tyre area that we're making, my tyre cage, the way everyone emotionally and so enthusiastically wrote in the comments,
"That's rubbish, it won't work, you don't know what you're doing."
Seeing as everybody thinks that, when the new tyre area is made, I'm gonna bolt it or I'm gonna weld it to the scaffold and we're gonna put up some cameras and we're gonna do a test. Anyone who's really seen a tyre cage, you will see that the steel we've used is a lot thicker and what we've made is a lot stronger. So what we're gonna do, we're going to test it and we can see if in fact that tyre cage is fit for purpose, or if I'm a donut who doesn't know what he's talking about, don't try to be funny. You know when someone's trying to tell you they don't want you in their car without saying they don't want you in your car? Man, put it on low. I'm freezing. And when I got in, man had music selection. He had a Sidewinder set with Dizzy Rascal and Slimzy. Man turned the music off, you know. When I got in, man turned the music off and put it on cold. I'm freezing. Oh no, I might get a cab back. We're en route to the job. It's not a job that we normally do. It's kind of like a crossover. And this golf course used to have newts. The newts have been moved to a new area, thrown the vegetation over a mound of earth. Now, some of the vegetation's been removed and areas and sections of the earth have been tested. We're waiting for those test results to come back, but we have to bring a 13-ton machine into the site and we have to remove the vegetation as an ecologist gives us a watching brief. Just in case there are some newts in there, we have to be cautious and we have to ensure that none of the utes, you know.
Make sure there's no kids hiding in the grass.
Make sure none of the newts are still in the vicinity. And once we remove the vegetation, we're then gonna take the grapple off the 13-ton machine and put a bucket on, and we're gonna take out the muck. But we don't know if it's inert, we don't know if it's non-haz, but whatever it is, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna introduce Terry to the fellas that run the course. We're probably gonna do like a case study on this because it's always good for a company like us to work with golf courses. Sometimes golf courses wanna build new holes, so they're gonna need an importation of clean, inert material, or sometimes they wanna create a new area, they need some cut and fill work done. So it's always good to be on good terms with a golf course. All I can hear is his rattling. You know, not even a song can man get when he's in the car. We saying song, yeah? Terry didn't know about that. I know about them beats there. Terry didn't. You didn't know I knew about. Tell the truth. You didn't know I knew that, innit? You didn't know I knew them bars.
You're a bit old for that.
No, don't try it. Don't try it. We're trying to lift the compressor out of the tyre area so we can work tomorrow, but I can't see what I'm doing, so my townie's on the other side. I've isolated the machine. We're going to connect up some straps to the compressor, lift the compressor over, and then get it over into a safe space in the yard. But it's important to do this today and not tomorrow. One slip or not paying attention or not looking, like there could be problems. Dipper arm out. Slew! If I don't have instruction and I don't have eye contact, I just stop. I can't see what's going on the other side of the wall. So it's all hand signals, eye contact. So the compressor's out of harm's way. That was a big kerfuffle and a song and a dance. Tomorrow we'll now have plenty of room to work in the tyre area. The time now is 4:22 and lorries are getting back. And instead of loading for Monday, they are loading for tomorrow because we have bits on tomorrow. We're gonna disconnect the spreader bar and all the straps, and that'll be a day for everyone else. It won't be a day for me. I've got plenty of emails to do back up at my office. Saturday, I'm in the yard. As you can see, we moved the rest of the blocks from the gym area. We are now moving the jersey barrier and the concrete blocks with scaffold poles. The scaffolders aren't doing any work today, but Matt, the Love Island contestant, has turned up to put the actual poles into the mold so we can pour concrete to make sure that we have more ready for Monday. Over here, we are now gonna start to dismantle this bay. We're gonna take it all down and then we're gonna start at the bottom. The blocks with the scaffold poles all on the back and then along the side. And then we are gonna put the jersey barriers along this side, marking out the actual frame for the building of the scaffold, which will probably start on Tuesday when we should have enough of the bottom ones in place. So if I just strip it to here and I put the blocks with the tube here, then you're fine with that. So basically, the one in the corner, if I leave that, then I can do this one, and that one, and you're fine.
Yeah, chest height.
Chest height, yeah? Yes! Result. The Love Island contestant has spoken. You just made the job easier.
Yeah.
Hey, it's much better. This hasn't progressed as much as I would hope today because the lads are busy. There's like 15 lorries out on a muck job, and the clay that was coming off the job was very sticky. So it looked like there was a lot in the body, but it wasn't very heavy. So we put the sides on this morning to go out and do the work, and now the lorries are coming back. We're cleaning out the body to make sure there's no muck left in it because we don't want any contamination. As we clean them out here, they drive into the backyard. Flo is loading a lot of them with type 1 for Monday. Ben isn't in, so Ollie grabbed the flatbed. He took the 40-yard bin off, and then he put a 1.75-ton digger on the back that needs to be delivered Monday morning. We're doing as much as we can, but there's a lot going on. What I really want to do is get down enough of this so I could get the middle row in. I'm thankful it's the middle row now, so I could get that in so we actually have the scaffold pole blocks in the wall so we can begin to put the structure up on Monday or Tuesday, because on Monday it's going to be a madhouse in here. But the more we do on the lorries now, with the greasing, the refueling, the loading, checking all the tires, it hopefully means that on Monday morning all the lorries can just leave and there's no faffing about in the yard. That's the plan anyway. We're struggling with weekly a little bit. We've still got a lot more to do. Frighty and Javier is still here. I've come to Ben's lorry to drop off the head cam. So this is the footage that he keeps getting. Giving him a spare battery, made sure that his headband is clean, giving him a memory card, and I am dropping it in the center console, and I'm gonna lock the lorry up. Ben's gonna leave the yard nice and early on Monday morning, and if we want to capture what happens, we don't have any time to faffing around. This is the stuff that I'll be doing on a Saturday afternoon so I can capture it. If I don't get this, then I don't get the shots on Monday, then everything's delayed and this and that. So if you don't think about it today, then you don't get the opportunity to share it. So I haven't got a chance to do hardly any of my work, but thankfully for me, I've got Sunday and no one else works, not no one else, but hardly anyone else works on a Sunday. So I will get some catch-up time. Spend a little while longer here, and then I'm gonna go and meet the sticker man. Locked. We have been invited to the Sidemen's 10th anniversary. So eventually, when I get out the yard, that's where I'll be going. On my way into Central, of course the traffic is brutal. Traffic's always brutal. Driving in, no music, trying to spend some time thinking. I decided on a bagged aggregates salesperson, and I need to organize their start date. However, currently there's no room in the main office for them. So I'm going to have a shift around. Where the gym used to be, thinking about it now, I think I'm going to move back the training room and the merchandise container. Flip them sideways. It's still a thought in my head. This isn't 100%. Then, in front of that, I'm thinking of dropping an office there. The Olympic offices, what I'm working on, I can't do that. I'm not going to finish them in time because I've got like 3 weeks. So I'm thinking I may need to rent an office momentarily or buy one. But I think I'm going to separate the accounts team, bring them downstairs, and then put the new bagged aggregate salesperson in the main wolf pit upstairs with Sam, Darren, Liam, Julia, Terry, and Tony. And then there'll be one more space left there. And then when we get a plant hire salesperson, they'll sit in the chair up there. So that'll be like the Wolf of Wall Street pit, where all the sales, operations, and transport happens, because maybe the accounts team need to be somewhere a little bit more quiet. This is all formulating in my head. And now you see why I've been trying to push the work on at the same time as create the cover for the tire fitter, why I've been removing the gym and all the work I've been doing, because I could have just bought more scaffold. My life would have been a whole lot easier. So now you see the plan forming together, why I've been pushing on with the bagging in the past few weeks, trying to sort out the buckets on the grabs, everything I'm doing to try to move to a pinnacle point. But there's a lot more that needs to be done before that. So I'm going to get back to this salesman by Monday morning and let them know a start date. But I'm using this time to think things through, because every day is a work day. All I can hear is just windshield wipers.